Hey, everybody. Earl Fanatic here from the Cryptopolitan, and this is the podcast. Our guest today is Arthur. Arthur, how are you today?
I'm well. How about you? How's it going?
I'm fantastic, except for the fact that it's really damn cold. I live in Canada, so it's really cold right now. Where are you
Okay. It's
calling it
good.
from?
I'm calling from Kuala Lumpur, so I guess so it's rather windy today. It's supposed to be
Okay.
sunny, but the sun is like it wasn't really quite out, so I don't know what happened to the glorious sun.
Oh, it's okay. So you're telling me the whole world is cold. That's fine. I'm okay now. I feel better. So
Yeah, it's windy. It's like it's
if
not as cold
everybody's
as I guess
cold, I
Canada.
don't feel bad. If everybody's warm and I'm cold, I feel sad. Anyway, all right. Well, let's dive right in. Tell us about the project FiLLiquid.
Sure. So FiLLiquid, as again, we are a liquid staking protocol. Are of course, as again, it's a DeFi protocol, as again, for the Filecoin ecosystem.
Mhm.
So essentially, as again, FiLLiquid, as again, was established since as again when Filecoin as again actually launched the Filecoin as again Virtual Machine, which is
Mhm.
compatible as again to EVMs as well. This was introduced as again since March as again 2023, and since then as again we actually wrote as again the wave as again of because it opened up like, a new horizon, a new paradigm like, of where Filecoin right now like, we're able to have its own liquid staking protocol, allowing
Yes.
lenders like, to actually lend Filecoin and also borrowers like, to borrow like, Filecoins like, from a DeFi protocol. So we jumped on it, but it took us about like 6 months like, for us to really assemble like, our Avengers team. So we
Gotcha.
officially really started hitting the market since like September 2023. And then because we are the only fully decentralized, the only open source of DeFi protocols for the Filecoin. So it really took time for us to really educate the community and to really show that how fully decentralized we are. Probably because you might know this in the market, there are a lot of DeFi protocols are talking about like how decentralized, but eventually they are not. So it really
Yeah.
took us time for us to build that trust with the community. And then when we hit a certain threshold of a size of the community, I remember there was about 50 or 1,000. We realized, okay, this is like there's a product fit, there's a market fit to it. Let's launch our testnet. So we started
Yes.
launching our testnet that was in February 2024. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still trying to wrap around my head now. It's 2025, I guess.
Yeah, I keep screwing
uh,
that up. Every time I write a number down, I'm like, oh crap, where is
I know, right? I can't say it's like this year, this year. I keep conditioning my mind. So yeah, so February 2024, we launched our first round testnet. We received overwhelming response.
Mhm.
We had a total of 15,000 stakers to actually jump on it. And of
Nice. That's a
course,
good size. That's a
it's
good
giving
size.
out that's a good size. That's a good size. Of course, ad drops was the primary incentive. So yeah, we had the first round of the test net, and then because of the response that we received, then we realized okay, why not we do the second round of the test net because
Okay.
all this was also we were just waiting for our project to be audited by security audit companies, and so we in 3 4 months, we actually did 2 rounds of test now. And in total, we actually hit a TVL of 51 million TVL. We had a total of about like 32 over million, 32,000 stakers. And we realized, okay, this is good to go. And then we had our security audit, and finally, we launched our mainnet in July 2024. And fast forward, it's been how many months? It's been about 5 months since we've gone into the mainnet. And as to today, we are proud to say that we are the fastest growing DeFi protocols in the Filecoin ecosystem, and also the largest DeFi protocol in the Filecoin ecosystem.
Fantastic.
So essentially, yeah, I was mentioning earlier, we are a fully decentralized open source DeFi protocols in the Filecoin. And how does it work? It's allowed Filecoin holders. So for those any one of you who have Filecoin, a bag of Filecoin,
Mhm.
you could actually stake with us and to earn a higher APY. But
Okay.
on top of that, you also were able to farm. So So when you deposit as like a Filecoin, you'll be receiving like our LSD token, our liquid staking derivative token, which is known as
Okay.
FIT. And then so you were able to farm to get FIT to actually earn our governance token, which is known as FIG.
Okay.
And right now, we did it with a different twist as well, so, where you could actually stake so, our governance token to
Okay.
actually earn us more Filecoin. So, and how do we do it? So, that's where so, we actually do the revenue sharing with the protocol. And the first year so, itself, we're actually sharing so, 40% of our revenues so, with our governance token holders. And this has really been keeping so, our token holders so, to be pumped, to be
Right.
excited,
That makes sense.
because so, yeah, they just want to acquire some more Filecoins again at the same time, right? And with the
I
hope
have a yeah, so I have a funny question for you. So I'm
yeah.
following so far, but let's pretend someone's grandmother is watching, right? And
Yeah.
so you're trying to explain this to someone's grandmother. How
Hmm.
would you explain it in like a minute or two to the grandmother?
Ah,
Right? Like
that's a
remember
very good question.
they're super not technical, right? I'm following you with
Absolutely.
the
Yes,
Filecoin
yeah.
stuff, but like, okay, so my grandma, she can't even spell Filecoin. She has no idea what the hell
Yeah,
Filecoin does, and she doesn't know what governance is. She doesn't know what any of this stuff is.
sure.
So the
Yeah,
thing is, you guys are giving 40% rev share, which is fantastic. So if that's the
yeah.
case, someone's portfolio might want to expand by trying this out as a staking utility. So if I were to explain this to my grandma, right?
Yeah.
God bless her, she can barely use a mouse. What would I say?
That's really a very funny question, and yet it really hits the bullseye because this is where I constantly just challenge this by testing it my 8-year-old is every time
Right.
when I want to explain a very complex. But I never had a chance to be explaining this. I only had a chance explaining blockchain and
Right.
other
Well,
stuff.
because I'm a blockchain
But
guy, you're a blockchain
uh,
guy. We can talk about Filecoin until
yeah,
we're blue in the face. The
how
grandma doesn't know that stuff. So how would you explain it
I
to someone?
I would really say to the grandma, hey, it's very similar. So you're putting your money into a bank
Hmm.
right now, and then to generate interest. That where you'll be generating higher interest. But we're doing it with a different twist. Like every dollar that you put in right now, this is where the banks will incentivize you with additional incentive for every
Right.
dollar. And does that sound exciting for you, Miss Grandma? If it's
Right.
so, that's no brainer for you to be putting your money in. But however, the only difference is in this banking system, it doesn't manage it doesn't intervene by any human being. It's managed intervene by technology itself.
On its
And
own.
so
Okay.
imagine that's like a
So
technology
I don't
will
have to
be
transfer from I don't have to transfer from the Filecoin over to your token, and then I don't have to move that to the government's token, and I don't have to restake the government's token to get the Filecoin, right? To do all that stuff, it's just automatic.
Oh, well, currently it's not automatic, Miss
Okay.
Grandma, but however, we did put like some AI robots, which AI agents to be doing it.
Hmm.
And that is eventually we're going to automate streamlining the entire process for you. And it's going to get easier for you because you just have to deposit your dollar, which
Yes.
is Filecoin in here, into this platform, and then it's allowing the rest of the other work that's being done by robots per se. Maybe
Of course.
AI
Yeah.
agent will be too technical for the grandma. Are we doing a
No.
grandma story here?
Well, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because when some people explain stuff, right? I love
Yeah.
the Reddit forum. Explain it like I'm five, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've always enjoyed like being able to hear how people set that up, put those together, arrange those things so that you can explain it to a 5-year-old. And so when my kids
That's
were
true.
5, I literally tested some of my material, and I tried to explain
Yeah,
it when they're 5. And if they don't get it, it's not simple enough, right? It's not straightforward enough.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
that was always a fun test. So I always flip flop between let's try the old guy, let's try the young guy,
yeah.
and let's see if it
And have
works.
you
Right?
done it successfully? How is it? How's the outcomes
So
most
yeah,
of the
so I
time?
actually used to build a standard operational procedure for my staff, for
Oh,
my companies, and I tested on my
ah,
children. And if my kids can do it, if the staff can't
yeah.
do it, they're fired. So if my 5-year-old can do it and you can't do it, you don't belong here, right? And so that's always been a really cool litmus test, right? So
Yeah,
part of the allure of crypto, right, is right now we want to get it to the mainstream, and to get it to the
absolutely.
mainstream, the way to do it is if it passes the 5-year-old test and if it passes the 80-year-old test, right? If you
Absolutely,
can pass
absolutely.
both of those,
Yeah,
you've got something really magical, right? That makes
yeah.
sense.
And that's so right, right? Also, because we're all talking about a lot of the projects, a lot of the protocols are talking about billions of users adoption. And we do
Mm,
know the majority of the people, I mean, the usage of blockchain is again, it's only less than 5% of the total world population. And if we're
right.
just trying to get too complex with all this jargon and technicalities, to say guilty is charged, there are times that I just get too carried away.
Hmm.
And we just slide it off with all these technicalities, this common language that we use. But yeah, we have to start speaking a language that we're normal human beings, because the
Well,
95% of the people understand.
they don't get it, right? And I get that. So that's why I've always been challenging all the new projects I talk to. Like, I'm following you. It all
Yeah,
makes sense. Falcon, like that
yeah,
sounds fantastic. Actually, I'm gonna go check it out after this. So
yeah,
now that I know it exists, that's really cool. But the next
yeah,
challenge is, if we want to get this thing mainstream, if we want to get more people using this thing, we got to simplify the structure. Or, like you said, I like that AI agent idea where it
yeah.
automates the flow. And so you can just run a wizard, like almost Web 2 style, going, okay, I want this, I want it to do this, I want it to do that. And then have the AI agent set it up so just the flows kind of automate, right?
Absolutely. And I think the way how to even explain Filecoins to a grandma or even to a 5-year-old child as well, as Filecoins being the global largest decentralized data storage.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine just explaining Filecoins as like form of currency, like form
Yes.
of a token or a coin that really represents the data storage. And of
Right.
course, like everything requires data storage. I mean, from the moment once we wake up, we play our phone, everything is in the
Exactly.
phone. It's all about data storage. So Miss
100%.
Grandma, and little boy, imagine right now, you are putting in your money, investing into a project that where you own that, and you were able to actually land it through like a banking system
Right.
for other people, for other partners, or parties to be using it. And I think that it's one of the easiest ways to really explain our altcoins essentially. Yeah.
You bet. So with all this tech, with all this stuff coming down the pipe, what's exciting for you for this project moving forward?
Well, I think this year is going to be, it's going to be a fantastic year for the digital asset
Mm.
itself. I mean, our communities and of course, our team are super stoked, super excited for our listing of a governance token, which will be happening very soon.
Okay.
Can exactly give you the exact details, but of course, that's something that what our communities who has been riding on this journey with us since from the very beginning. Something, of course, what they're excited of. But I personally is also very excited of building a real solid infrastructure,
Hmm.
for our entire platform. And one of
Well, like you
the
said, you had 15,000 right now in the community, so that's a really good start, right? So I mean, if the community is interested and excited and engagement and they're playing the game, that's always a good sign, right?
absolutely. Well, in actual fact, we have about a size 100,000 communities right now, and
Mhm.
we're still growing it right now. I mean, across all social channels, we have
Right,
about like
right, yeah.
18,000 on X, 20 on Discord. So yeah, so we're still growing. We're still right at the early stage. I mean, it has only been like what 5 months since we've gone mainnet. Yeah, I mean, we are humble enough to say that we are the third largest community of stakers in the Filecoin ecosystem. But of
Right.
course,
I
we
mean,
can always do
that's
more.
nothing. That's nothing to be like ashamed of. Third place is pretty good, man. That's really good. So, and
It's
you
a good
just
start.
started. And you just
It's a
started.
good start. It's a good
Yeah.
start. I believe in celebrating every win, no matter how big or small it is. And I mean, I give all gratitude to my team, and to my community, because we are a fully community driven platform that's built by the community for the community.
Cool.
And that's why one of the benefits are of becoming a governance token holder of FIG, which that will be
Mhm.
listed on an exchange. It's where we give that opportunity for our community to be part of the co-owners of this protocol platform. They were
Right.
able to suggest like features. They were
They
able
can,
to
as a governance coin holder,
make
you have the
proposals.
ability to shape. You could really shape the
Absolutely.
future.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it has been so promising. There's been giving incredible amount of feedbacks, and that's
Hmm,
where we grow and we learn with time. So,
fantastic.
but of course, at the same time, why we know that there are so many parts we need to fix. And coming back to it, it's where this year it's going to be a year of solidifying our infrastructure. And of course,
Wow.
as one of the ways to solidify our infrastructures that would be like, are really incorporating like the trending AI agents, not
Hmm,
because jumping on the bandwagon, but where I see the convergence between AI agents and DeFi. This makes perfect sense. Okay? That
right.
where you were able to enhance operational efficiency, able to automate decision making, revolutionizing user experience, providing 24/7 intelligence support. They were able to create advanced analytics or predictive analytics, giving a more transparent reporting, optimizing dynamic liquidity management. There's so many things that they're able to be doing, and that is essentially it's to benefit our users and also to ensure a lot of these mundane and repetitive tasks can actually be done and executed by the
Yeah,
AI agents.
absolutely.
Uh, interesting that we jump on this conversation today because yesterday was our strategic goal and direction of 2025 and
Okay.
setting the precedence of where our projects are going to be heading towards too. And this year, the team would be actually um, uh, high productivity and maximum impact. And that's where really just encouraging everyone, the entire team to really focus what task and executing that task with the highest levels of productivity that produces the maximum impact. And truly the results that what really matters. And that's
Exactly.
where we want to get everyone in the team to really have that deep thought and to really dive in very deep into that such thought for us to be a much more productive uh, uh, team.
Well, you take pride in work and in mastery of your craft, right? So as you get better at it, obviously you enjoy it, right? So that's
Yeah,
definitely a cool thing. Well, when
yeah.
you're not juggling the file coins and you're not trying to build this big project and grow the communities and stuff, what do you do for fun? We were talking just before this, and you had something
Ah,
interesting that you talked about, and I want to hear more
ah.
about this because that sounds like a
So
challenge.
so I'm actually an avid runner. So I started
Uh-huh.
running since 7, 8 years ago. So I was
Yes.
running by myself until I met a community of runners. And
Okay.
that's where it really just opened up a whole new experience for me. I really got so committed into running. And
Yes.
that's where I started. I think, I don't know, some say it's a midlife crisis, but that's where, you
That's a
start.
good midlife crisis, though. Most people, the midlife crisis is negative. They go buy some crazy boat that they can't afford, or they do something nuts, or they go on some crazy adventure that they might threaten their life. You went running. That's a healthy midlife crisis.
The funny part is again, when I speak about running, I know to a lot of people say you are insane. I can't even do like 1 km run. And let's not even talk about 10 km run. And the funny part is again, right from the very start,
Mm.
and I really relate running a lot to entrepreneurship, to
Yes.
running business. I was a guy who can't even run 1 km without stopping.
Right.
And here I am today. I'm actually running for marathons.
Nice.
Um, and of course, it's not like I can run 42 kms without stopping.
Of course.
But it always reminds me. I think running has really just grounded me so much. It gave me so much peace. It gave me so much calmness. And
Mm.
every time it tells me that when I want to quit, because after a while, when you do run, it's really not so much of physical strength. It's a lot of mental
Mental.
strength.
Yeah.
It's really, really mental. Especially running for marathon, I have to say, right from the 30th km onwards, all the way to 42, the last 12 km, it's purely mental.
Right.
And that's the time I think it reminds me a lot, like, in every entrepreneurship, looking back in my whole entire entrepreneurship journey, every time that I want to give up, I just keep telling myself, so no, there is a degree of perseverance. Let's
Mm.
go for it. The goal is to achieve that finishing point. The
Right.
goal is not about having that, to be on the podium. Of course, personal bests together would be great, but it's the only person you have to be accountable is the person that you're looking in front of the mirror.
Yes.
And to me, it's about achieving that finishing line. It's about getting to the finishing line.
Right.
And
But I mean,
I
like
think
less than 1% of people in the world are able to complete a marathon. Right. So the fact that you've kind of got that, I mean, this is why we asked this question. People are asking, hey, Earl, this is a weird question to ask in a crypto interview. And I go, well, no, it's not.
yeah,
Because at the end of
yeah.
the day, the project is run by the people. And at the end of the
Mhm.
day, the people, how you do anything is how you do everything. Right. And the fact that you're less than 1% of the world are people who can just even complete the marathon. I'm not even talking place or or nonstop, whatever. It doesn't matter if you finished it. Right. And so because you've got that, the work ethic, the loyalty, the honesty, the integrity, and like you said, the mental strength and mental capacity to take it to the finish line. And that's a very important part of today's project. This is why we talk about this thing. This is why we show up on camera so people can get to know you, see your face, and say, hey, this guy runs marathon. You know what? I trust him because he's able to complete what he says he's going to do. Right. And getting to really know the people behind the project, that's magic. Like this is what this is about.
I genuinely couldn't agree more, personally, because it was really such a painful journey, of even just try to get into like Web3, having assembling the right people with a pure intention, because it's still a wild west in the financial industry, right?
Well, yeah,
And just
you're building
building
something that doesn't exist, right? So that's why
exactly,
you're building it.
exactly, and selling that narrative to people, without over promising and really just having that genuine intention. I think that's so magical. That's so pure, as we are still going through that consolidating stage of where Web3 or blockchain or cryptocurrency is. Of course, it's always evolving.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, I really couldn't agree more. It's really the people, that's really running it. And I think the people just have to be having that pure intention. What is the intention? And hence why every time when I want to invite someone else into the team, I will ask the question, what is your intention to be part of us? Because it's what
Yes.
people were able to move mountains. I want to move mountains with people. It's with people
Yeah.
mightiness,
And
with
to do
people
that,
quit.
it takes more than money, right? There's the heart and the
Absolutely.
spirit and the soul, right? And so if you can pull all that
Absolutely.
together and you've got the work
Yeah.
ethic to make that happen, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. So, I trust, I think now that I know that less than 1% of people can complete a marathon, I think I trust marathon runner a little bit more. So anyways,
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I was just thinking
so
again, so it's been maybe 10% or something. Yeah. And I
no,
always
not even
thought
close. Not even close. The global population is
I thought,
8 billion.
oh dear.
So,
Oh
only
dear.
a million people run
Wow.
marathon. That's a very small
Oh
number out of
wow.
a lot of people.
That's
So there
not
you
very
go.
small to you. Like,
So
yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
people, speaking of community, let's move on to the third question and wrap things up here.
Sure.
So we talked about the project, we talked about
Yeah.
you, the people behind it, and so what I
Yeah.
want to talk about next is what I want to talk about growing the community. So where do you
Mhm.
where do you want to grow specifically? Do we want people to come to your Discord? Do we want people to come to your X? Where do you want people to go?
Oh, it's definitely X.
Okay,
So you could actually just check it out. So, check us out at FiLLiquid, which is Phil with the double L and liquid. So you can check us out. So
FiLLiquid on
FiLLiquid.
X. Okay, fantastic. And
Yeah,
I
you.
want you to give people a reason to come, right? So why should they come find you? How should and so you want them to find you on X. Why should they come find you?
Well, first and foremost, we give us real time updates.
Okay.
Secondly, we give us a lot of educational content.
Mm,
Thirdly, we provide a lot of our happenings, our events. Fourth, of course, we have a lot of airdrops, campaigns that are going on for you to start accumulating FIG tokens before
mm.
we'll start listing
Yeah,
sometime
fantastic.
soon. Um, and fifth, yeah, you were able to attend our AMA sessions, our in-person event, and all the global conferences. Love to. I'm I'm an old school guy. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I still love that
Nice.
whole human interaction. That connecting with in person. So we are rather quite active in the global conferences, and we do a level best to organize to host as many side events as possible. And yeah, that's where it's an opportunity for us to really get in touch.
That just goes to show that you guys are you're really there for the community.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Right? Because not everybody is like that, right? Not everyone does event, not everyone puts this together, not everyone gives the level of education you guys are offering. That's an excellent thing, right? And some people, I stumped them on the grandma question, and you nailed it. So you're doing great.
Community is really the heartbeat of our project. I really just couldn't explain more. It's truly our heartbeat. Without the community, there's no FiLLiquid. Without FiLLiquid, there's no team of mine, and without my team, literally this don't even exist at all. And this is something
you can't be a one-man army.
Yeah, and it's something I can't even share with you from the bottom of my heart. I mean, this is just so raw, this is so unscripted. I give all out to the community. Yeah.
I truly appreciate you being on the show, Arthur. It was a real pleasure having you on the Cryptopolitan podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for coming out. Any last words of wisdom for the viewers?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great year, 2025. As momentous as the years promises to be momentous and spectacular. So for all communities out there, for every one of you who's tuning and watching it, there's so many opportunities out there. It's just not only our project. Really, just keep eyeing on all these opportunities, because it's going to happen one in every 4 years. And of course, most importantly, also you can stay tuned and get yourself updated with our FiLLiquid updates, and please get connected when exactly our listing of our governance token at IG is listing. I'll see you guys real soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thanks for your time, CFO.